So this is day 3 of owning the van. We've actually worked on it for 1 day. So we've stripped all the panels out. It's a little bit echoey in here, but we're doing the sound deadening. So just basically putting like sound deadening stuff on the sides, so that when the vehicle drives or when we're sort of sleeping in it and it's raining, it sort of softens the sound a little bit. Comes in these sheets with peel backing, and then you can cut it up quite easily. So I went into the Volkswagen Centre close to us now. There was an issue basically, the sliding door didn't kind of lock in place, so once you slid it open it would just gently roll back. So the catch wasn't working, and a warning light came on when we were driving it back, so it had too much oil in it. Plus there's also a water leak somewhere. So the van build has stopped for a little bit. Well, I got the van back from VW. So they investigated for the water leak and couldn't find anything. They sprayed it with a hose for 2 hours. Couldn't find anything, so we picked it up again. It came with quite substantial flooring, this stuff here. That was a pain to get out, but I'm glad we have, because we've discovered that actually the water ingress that we thought that was like a little small puddle is actually like throughout the entire floor. Probably to be expected down here as well, all along here at the back door, but it's the fact that it's sort of pulled here, run all the way down, and then pulled in here as well. That's all water, and all the way down in the front here too. There's again all water, and this was where, in here was where we noticed the water originally, but like this is a little puddle here, there's a puddle here, puddles everywhere. So I think the thing to do is to really actually nail down where this water is coming from. Is it that every time it rains and the back door is shut it leaks, and there's a dodgy seal somewhere in the back, or is it just that the previous owner left the doors open a lot when it rained? I don't know. But there's like the front strip edge of the boarding was also quite mouldy, so it kind of tells us that it's not like a one-off thing that's happened today or yesterday or the day before. It's like generally quite damp in that flooring, which is not good news, because we're trying to insulate the floor and then obviously laminate it, and then not laminate it, whatever it's called. Today's job has been trying to sort out the floor, getting it ready for insulating, and then we'll put the floorboards back on top and then add a nice finish to it so it looks nice. So we dried out all the water that had accumulated in here, and it rained heavily last night and there was no water ingress, and we think what's happened was that the back door wasn't shut properly, and then the previous owner, because it's been with somebody else for a year, and I think they're a tradesman, so they might not have shut it really fully, and there's like a tiny little bit of daylight showing through, which over time, over the course of a year, has probably let water in, and then it's run under the floorboard. So fingers crossed that's the source. So anyway, today I've been building battens. So building floor battens, basically, well, this is the width of like the fridge and the shower and what will be the bench, and then this side will be the hob and the work surface. So again, that batten is brought out so that it's in line with the surface. We'll infill each of these holes with like Kingspan, I think it's 25mm depth Kingspan, and then put the floorboard back on and then put the finish on the top. Yeah, this gives it a bit of rigidity, something to screw into.
As our worktop kitchen area comes out further than the floor, we're creating a little extra bit to sort of fill this gap, which we think is going to work.
30mm piece here, followed by the other batten going on top. And hopefully, when it lines up, will make the world's most attractive step. Alright, well that's in for now. We just need to glue the rest of it in place now.
Why are you wearing headphones?
What?
Why are you wearing headphones?
I can't stand the squeaky noise. I can still hear it. I've got loud music playing. That's why I might shout a bit with these on. What's this called? Celotox.
Celotex.
Celotex.
And he's trimming the other way now.
Which way? Huh?
And he's making thinner.
Thinner. Snug.
Snug.
Snug as a bug.
Ooh, with all this insulation. Snug as a bug.
Yeah, so this is the
I can't see you.
oh.
You are a shadow, the silhouette.
Well, insulation's done on the floor. All of the Celotex is in. All the little nooks and crannies. Anything now is to sort of fix the back step bit. So there was a floorboard that came with the van that we were intending to put back down on top of all of this stuff. But because we made it square to try and support as best we could, it does leave this bit of a gap here. So the floorboard itself actually comes out to here and then curves around in there. So we've actually got to create something that's going to fit in here nicely. And the other problem we have is that it's kind of stepped a little bit here. So yeah, these are the raised bits. Well, these are the sunk bits. These are the raised bits that the battens are up against, and then this step is again a different height. So the step is actually the same height as that. So it's kind of like packing this bit here so that we can actually raise it all flush to here and create like a new little step in here. So I think the plan is to actually use mastic tape, which I've never worked with before, but everything for me is a learning curve, and kind of pack it out here a little bit and try and raise it up so that these battens can come level with the battens we've already placed, and then the floor can be flush. And there will be a bit of a step here, but we want to keep this plastic guard. The other thing we want to do is actually seal in between this plank, this wood here, and the step to make sure that no water actually lands on the steps and runs in and underneath all the floorboards, because that would be a real pig to get up. So that's the plan. So I'm a slow learner. I'm not gonna. So I've done that bit. Filled that all with mastic, so that is flush now to the floor. Just gonna fill in the corners. So I cut these bits. But just here, the channel is a lot lower. So this is the lowest point. So rather than filling it full of mastic and then sticking that on top, I made some things to go in here, and then I'll glue these in place to bring that up to the right level, and then voila, look at that, c'est bon. Like a glove ish. And then I've done the same the other side, and then the plan is to kind of fill this, I guess, with like sealant, smooth it all off. So siliconed here. So the grey stuff is the mastic that I had to pack out to get this the right level with the rest of the floor. And then the sort of shiny see-through stuff is the silicone, so beaded all the way around the edge, and then also in this join here, and then right up into the corner here, and then for good luck also beaded right the way on the inside all the way along as well. So this whole batten here should be completely sealed in and waterproof. Hopefully if water hits the step and then runs in, it won't actually go anywhere, it'll just hit wood. Beautiful. Now for the step. Because the sliding door is going to be used a lot and open potentially when it's raining or when it's drizzly, so all the back doors, needed to seal in pretty much every possible bit where the water might sort of splash onto things and then run down, because we don't want water getting in underneath the floorboards. So this is a step, and we packed it out and built it because the edge of the work surface is going to come here. So all this has been sealed in all along here, and then anywhere where there's sort of joins in the wood along here, for instance, has also been sealed. But I've also added loads of sealant in here, so packed this full of sealant here. So the idea being that if water lands on the work surface and trickles down the back, then it'll run off the bead of sealant and then into the lower cavity step, which is not a problem because they're obviously not like underneath the floor itself. And then because the back of the work surface is going to be here, also sealed in here as well, just so that, yeah, if it does trickle down the back, we haven't made that flush enough, or that seal breaks, then it won't run underneath. So that's the idea, if water sort of ends up coming in on this step area. And also done a similar thing here. So sealed this join here, just in case rain's driving in, and then just got messy and like packed this whole area with sealant as well. So that floorboard under there is completely sealed off underneath. This bit is more the plastic, sits on plastic step. So yeah, that's been sealed in, but we're going to clad that in as well with flooring.
Next stage is putting this silver foil tape over all the joins.
It's like tin foil.
It is basically tin foil, as a sort of vapour barrier to waterproof it all and stop any moisture getting through there, or if we spill anything, nothing's going to seep through into the insulation. So basically we're forming an airtight seal now and locking in all that insulation into the floor. Some people say you don't need to put a vapour barrier on, and lots of people say you do, and I didn't really know, so we're just going with it. I'd rather have one and not need it than not put one in and then find that we did need it.
Oh, don't film this one. This is going to be a disaster. Nope. Nope. Because there's a weird curve here. Beautiful. That is a thing of beauty. That right there. I'm better with silicone.